asking strategic questions, and listening for intent. The late, great Peter Drucker said that most of us listen to respond. We're just waiting our turn. You're the other person speaking, and we're already thinking about what it is that we want to say in response. But that's not the best way to listen. The best way to listen is to ask more questions. So let's talk about strategic questioning and the balance in a given conversation. In general, you own 30% of the conversation real estate. 30%. And you've got to accomplish a lot in your 30%. You've got to ask the questions that are going to get you the information you need, and we'll talk in a minute about that. You have to share the key points that you wanted to make for this visit, for this conversation and contact. And you want to be able to tell the organization or the institution's story as well. So you've only got 30%. You want to think through of all the questions I could ask. What are the most important? What is my goal for this visit? What am I trying to accomplish? And please don't say you're trying to accomplish cultivation. You're cultivating. What does that mean? What are the concrete, measurable, specific goals that you have? How are you going to increase this potential donor's motivation to give? How are you going to overcome potential obstacles to a joyful, inspired, generous yes? You want to make sure that you are clear about what you want to accomplish. 70% of the conversation is the donors. And you want to make sure they're not just talking about new information things, like how many kids they have and what the dog's name is and when they were last on campus or when was the last time they came for a tour to visit your not-for-profit. That's called new information, and it's rapport building. But if you spend all your time talking about that and listening to that, they like you, but you haven't gained any information that's going to help you advance this relationship. You need to ask questions about philanthropy and decision-making and motivation and values and where your organization is on their list of priorities. You also want them talking about the impact that your organization is having in the community, the impact it's having in our country, in the world, whatever your scope is. And so you've got to really think through, what am I trying to achieve? What questions am I going to ask? And then tune up, turn up, hone your listening skills, unpack, ask follow-up questions so that you really hear what the other person has to say.